Welcome back. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner MetaZone and Rovi, and today, I guess we're going to be talking about
more doom and gloom.
More doom, Three Arrows Capital, Cameron Winklevoss, Barry Silbert,
Genesis, Gemini, DCG.
DCG, yeah.
Damn, dude. All the players are coming out hot, dude.
So these are the big players in crypto.
Some of them, they're pretty massive. DCG especially.
Yeah.
You know, like OG Bitcoin guy, Barry Silbert, snowballed his earliness into basically one of the biggest organizations in all of crypto, right?
Yeah.
DCG has their hands in, like, if you go through the investor list of all your favorite crypto projects, just pull it up.
Yeah.
Go to their About Us page, look at their backers.
Yeah.
DCG is probably like on 90% of them.
Yep.
Right? So
basically
they're like the harbor of everything.
They're the umbrella.
Yeah. So
Umbrella Corp.
So if we're talking about another potential FTX /
It's unbelievable.
Another collapse scenario, like how so the real thing we need to consider is like what systemic could this be? I don't think DCG's at risk, but their subsidiary Genesis lending is at risk.
Yeah.
Right? So, but why?
But it could have contagion effects to all of DCG's conglomerate.
Contagion effects from a sentiment perspective, because you were talking about, what's your favorite product of theirs?
GBTC,
which is what?
It's a stock. It represents ownership in like the holdings of
Bitcoin?
Of Bitcoin in their reserves.
In their reserves.
Yeah.
Okay. So
which is held by Coinbase.
See, I knew Coinbase wasn't cleaning all this.
So Coinbase was backing DCG. Yeah. They're like, hey, everything they have all the Bitcoin they say they have. We just can't really prove it because
they don't let anybody like look into it, or
maybe it could be like security. I mean, obviously when you're talking about public and private keys, even if you expose your public key, you can't.
Yeah.
But there's probably other security implications alongside that, because it could literally be stored in a vault underground.
Yeah. Okay, let's break down all the actors. So we named them all, right? So what is Gemini? Gemini is another centralized exchange, similar to Coinbase and FTX.
Yes,
right?
Gemini.
Been around for a long time. You know the Winklevoss twins, right? You guys watched that Facebook movie?
Yeah.
Those are the guys apparently Mark Zuckerberg fucked over. They invested in Bitcoin.
Allegedly.
Now they're back for revenge.
I guess so.
I think they might win this one. Ultimately, they're going to be the first trillionaire.
They're winning, but they're also losing themselves because they used this product, so their own customers are getting fucked.
I think they are the front runners. They're the meat shield to their customers, so they're doing what they should be doing.
Well, they have to. They literally have a gun at their face.
Yeah,
their customers are suing them.
Yes,
for $900 million, and then because of that, they're like, we got to go after our own partners, which is DCG, because Gemini's owned by DCG.
Right.
So it's like, we got to shoot up at our boss in order to get our money to not basically collapse ourselves.
Yeah.
What a fucking mess.
Yeah.
This is.
So now we have, Cameron Winklevoss did an open letter on January 2nd where there was a deadline January 8th. It's like, Barry, if you don't do something, something's going to happen.
Yeah, this has been like, in the rumor mill for like pretty much a month. I guess ever since Genesis paused their lending program, right? Yeah. They stopped their deposits and withdrawals.
Somewhere in November, when FTX collapsed, that's when everything started happening again.
Yeah, the whole contagion, right?
Yeah.
So they paused everything. And because of that, I think, so Earn is a product of Gemini, right?
Yes.
It's where people deposit funds to generate a yield.
Yes, 7 to 8%, which is extremely high.
Juicy. Right, you can't do that. That's great. I want to deposit some funds, right? So they got $900 million of customer deposits to do that.
Yeah.
But now that it's locked, all those people's money are, they can't withdraw.
So Earn is a product of Gemini.
Yes.
Earn was leveraging Genesis. Which is a product of
DCG, I guess. Yeah.
And so Genesis is the one who basically defaulted because they had funds in like FTX. They invested in Three Arrows Capital, which collapsed in June.
Allegedly they're in the verge of defaulting, so there's insolvency issues or allegations, right? Similar to, I guess, FTX and Alameda, right? Because apparently they made some bad loans to some bad actors that have already collapsed. FTX, Three Arrows Capital.
Mm-hmm.
So now people are saying they can't make their customers whole anymore. So because apparently they've been using grown man tactics to try and like throw off the world of like what their actual balance sheet looks like.
Yeah, we were talking offline as to why these seemingly rich folks participate in these shenanigans.
Yeah, it seems like this is like status quo. Yeah, like behind the veil type shit.
Yeah.
And it only comes to light whenever everything goes collapses down like this.
Yeah,
and then you get to see like all the shenanigans that have been running for years.
Yeah,
right.
And so we were talking, we're potentially in like the traditional markets. This happens all the time.
All the time.
But because it's less volatile in crypto,
much less,
we don't see all these collapses as frequently as we do in crypto.
Correct. Much less volatile. And when things like this do hit the fan, like they have in the past, there are escape vehicles such as government backing and stuff like this to ensure that, the customers who need to be made whole are always made whole, which is basically, the wealthy elites. Yeah. The billionaire class, because that's usually the ones who have access to these types of financial instruments, right? These derivatives and all this financial hoopla that doesn't make sense to the rest of us. Yeah. We don't definitely get to dip our toes into that world.
Right.
But some people do, and they're dipping hard. And when they get fucked, they get covered. Yeah. No matter what. Yeah. In crypto land, we're not there yet. Nobody's covering our ass here. Yeah. Like if the elites of crypto fuck everybody over behind the veil, which they are,
it just set the whole industry back, and that's it.
Yeah, and it makes the more obvious that I guess if we're gonna try and play like the big boys, then we need big boy backing, and we need government to step in other words, right?
Big brother.
Is that what we want though? Obviously, us plebs, us common folk who try to leverage Web3,
who are investing in the 7%, 8% yield. Yeah, we need some sort of support.
Well, maybe not. That's what I'm saying. Amongst us plebs, I mean, obviously we know the risks when we get involved, whether it's a centralized product or decentralized. Yeah. Right. The risks are different, but they exist in both realms, right? Yes. Centralization, the risks are, the custodians are
nefarious.
Correct. In the decentralized world, it's like there's vulnerabilities in the code, right? Because we don't have to trust middlemen actors.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you get a loan from a smart contract, you have to put up collateral.
Yes,
and you're at risk at losing that collateral if you don't pay back that loan,
which happens all the fucking time.
Yeah, which is completely fair. So those are inherently safer from a protocol, from a functionality perspective, because you put out a loan, you use your own money to give out a loan, you get yield off of that. Yeah, and then if they don't pay back, you just take their collateral and now it's yours. So, which is unlike a custodial exchange, which loans out your money, and all of a sudden, that people that you're loaning out to, like 3 Arrows Capital, Genesis, all of a sudden they collapse, and your money that you loaned to them is gone,
vaporized, locked forever. And you just you're left holding the bag, dude. Yeah, you signed the terms of agreement, I guess. I'm pretty sure on there they say
it's like this is possible.
Yeah, you take the risk, to get your yield. Hopefully, and then the provider's whole reputation's kaput, right? Like nobody's gonna trust Gemini anymore. Any product they put forward now, because apparently they didn't do the proper due diligence, right, to see how solvent or how. But that's the thing.
It's like how can you?
How can they actually know Genesis isn't doing this? They didn't. That's what they're alleging, right? Yeah. They didn't know because they're accusing in this letter that was posted today, right? Yeah. That they put out like a fraudulent accounting statement that
basically an IOU.
Yeah, as like a hard asset.
As a hard asset, yeah.
So it made them look like they're whole, but they're really not. Yeah. So I mean, that's a big allegation, right? That's total fraud.
Yeah, it's fraud for sure. This is jail time potential.
Jail time for who?
For
Barry and friends?
Yeah.
God damn. See, that's big news. So everyone's getting sued here. Yeah. And the fact that we're on Twitter now, like it's at the Twitter stage. Yeah, it says a lot.
Yeah, it's like it's almost you can't come to a conclusion behind closed doors.
Yeah, because they've been battling this shit out for months, like through emails and I don't know, like fucking ninjas
Zoom
and
calls.
Stuff. Well, however the fuck ninjas send in the ninja force. I don't know, dude. Yeah. But now we're at the DEF CON stage where let's let the people's court decide who's the bad actor here.
Yeah, and when we say accuse, I mean Cameron is accusing Barry of fraud, like literally in his open letter.
And then Barry in return are accusing him of defamation. Yeah. Like he's lying. All this is fake news.
Yeah. Yeah, DCG chimes in. It says, we're preserving all legal remedies in response to these malicious, fake, and defamatory attacks.
There we go, dude. Strikes. Literally, they're sending fucking, what are those
Missiles.
fucking missiles called? Those crazy
Ballistic missiles?
guided ones? I don't know, from the ships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
they're launching nukes at each other on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, and we get to talk about it. But it's still another one of those, I don't know. So why do we talk about it? Because it's important to understand where the market is as far as maturation. But also, we want to know, what is this going to do to the price of everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think to summarize everything that we're talking about here, I think you said it succinctly when you said that this is like FTX, where DCG used GBTC as collateral for their loans, and that collateral for the loans would be issued to Three Arrows Capital or Genesis,
which was getting, I guess, pumped by Three Arrows Capital themselves, right?
Yeah.
They were depositing the Bitcoin that they were borrowing,
right,
into GBTC to inflate it, right?
Yeah.
And then once the market collapsed, I guess the valuation of the GBTC inverted
to
the actual value of Bitcoin. All of a sudden, like, everybody's underwater, right?
Yeah.
What a mess.
Yeah.
It's so gross. It's so icky and nasty, dude.
So up until today, we haven't heard anything from Three Arrows Capital, which is a collapsed hedge fund.
Yeah, that's what kind of set everything off, right? I think they went under after Luna crashed.
Crash, yeah.
So they were like the first
domino.
Yes, and then since then, everybody had their.
And this happened. This happened in June.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, talk about signals of the future, right? One domino goes down.
Yeah, that's how connected everything is in this crypto land. Like these ginormous entities are all intertwined.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been hearing whispers about this whole contagion, and it wasn't going to stop at FTX, right?
Yeah, and you know, I don't want to say that these guys are intentionally defrauding anybody. Like, for example, the co-founder of Three Arrows Capital, Suzu, he wasn't necessarily, you know, trying to collapse his fund, right? He just made bad bets.
Yeah.
Into Tether.
Well, he's saying here that there was a collaboration between DCG and FTX to collapse.
So that's what's interesting.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting. So Zuzu jumps on the bandwagon explaining DCG, the parent company of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, conspired with FTX to attack Luna and ST-ETH and made a lot of money in the process.
And we were talking about it when Luna was collapsing and then people were uncovering how it happened. It was like a coordinated attack.
Yeah.
And we're like, who the fuck has the funds for one to do these types of things? And, you know, I guess he's pointing the finger at these guys. It was them.
Huh. Dude, that's such an insane allegation. Like,
I know, dude. So imagine the investigation, like now the SEC and the DOJ, all these guys have to do to unpack all of this and like find all the connected dots.
Yeah.
Basically,
this is a multi-year discovery process.
Exactly. And they're going to figure out, okay, now this is how fraudulent the space can be, right?
This is as fraudulent as it gets.
Yeah. Which is not good for us.
No, not at all.
Commoners who are just trying to play with their digital currencies, dude. What the fuck? Why is everybody so malicious?
Yeah.
I guess at the bottom line, it comes down to greed, right? Everyone just wants more.
Yeah, which I don't know.
Which you don't understand.
I don't understand. It keeps surprising me. It's like, why do this? Why SBF? Why do you have to, you know, do fraudulent activity?
I think it's similar. The same. If these DCG allegations end up being true, why? Why do these wealthy billionaires have to do these types of things whenever things run amok? Instead of being real bros about it and being real frank and honest, like, damn, dude, we got overwhelmed. We made some bad bets, and we're taking our L's.
Yeah,
and we're gonna recover from this better than ever. Nobody ever does that.
Yeah.
Instead, the de facto action is to lie and hide and smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
To preserve what?
Yeah, their persona, their
reputation.
Reputation.
That's what it is, because their fucking egos are through the mountain skies, dude. Yeah. They're like, we can do no wrong. We're geniuses. Yeah. If we're gonna maintain that genius clout that we have, we can't make mistakes. So we have to lie. We have to manipulate. We have to fraud our own users and the public and all this shit.
Yeah.
And I think that applies across like humanity's scale. It's not just crypto.
Yeah,
Once
for sure.
It's like once you traverse a certain wealth
Threshold. Yeah.
I think your brain just morphs into that realm. I could. Or maybe it's already there. That's how you get up there. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's how you get up there.
Yeah. Now I'm just going into like
philosophy, like billionaires,
psychology. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So we got the co-founder of Arrows Capital, 3 Arrows Capital, claiming DCG conspired to attack Luna.
Yeah.
And which was the domino that really set everything off and ended up collapsing FTX.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, this is just more drama. Obviously, we're just like in the he said, she said stage of this.
Yeah.
Very much like, the pre-FTX collapse days where SBF and CZ were kind of like going at it on each other and Twitter and stuff. But within days, the actual collapse began.
Yeah.
Right. So who knows how long this is going to take to really pan out. But what should we expect if, shit does hit the fan? Genesis is bankrupt. They file Chapter 11.
Mm-hmm.
Gemini is fucked because they can't pay back all those people who they owe money to.
Yeah.
GBTC is worth nothing.
Potentially, yeah.
DCG reputation kaput.
But I mean, they still hold 600,000 Bitcoin or something, or 300,000.
I don't know.
I mean, they're still holding like a hard asset.
Yeah, but with confidence in that product, I don't know, just goes to zero, doesn't it?
I feel like there's discussions on converting your share of GBTC into actual Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's how you would make your holders whole. Right?
Exactly. Yeah,
there'd probably be some sort of legal enforcement for that, more than likely.
Which I feel like would be pretty fair, I think. Because if you have a share of a whole pool, you get your share of that pool, right?
Yeah, but this is your horse, isn't it? GPTC and Grayscale? This is who you thought was the, what's the word?
The beacon to regulation?
To greatness, dude. Institutional, certainty. If Grayscale succeeds with their GBTC product,
yes,
then institutions will feel more safe to offer their own products and onboard more liquidity into the markets and stuff like that, right? So now what? If that doesn't happen,
I wonder.
Are we fucked?
I wonder. I mean, I feel like Barry Silver probably did a better job in structuring his companies that where their hands don't overlap each other.
Interesting.
And so maybe GBTC is completely isolated from all these things.
Could be.
There's a chance.
Yeah.
There's probably a really good chance that that's happening because it's so regulated.
Yeah, but if it is found true that it's been manipulated, I guess but maybe outside the actual what the product doesn't enable, I guess, the manipulation. It's just these outside entities like Genesis and 3AC just leveraging it as like a tool of manipulation. Kind of like Bitcoin. Everybody says Tether artificially manipulated the value of Bitcoin. That doesn't necessarily make Bitcoin
any less
devalued
valuable
product.
Yeah.
It makes everyone else who's leveraging Bitcoin fraudulent bad actors. They need to go.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's a good analogy.
I guess. Barry should hire me as a lawyer, dude. Get him out of this mess.
Oh, yeah, man. So is DCG screwed? Has already commented. So Barry had commented that, all this is frivolous for the most part.
Yeah.
And so, this is a wait and see type of thing. We don't really know what's going to happen, but all this is happening on Twitter real time.
Yeah, and guess what? The prices are still going up. Bitcoin's going up. ETH is going up. Even GPTC is going up. It's like rallying.
Yeah.
So that could mean many things. I think the market is just already so exhausted from all this FUD.
Yeah.
It's been a difficult couple of months. So it's like, and then if you actually evaluate the scope of this, these are big actors, but like on a monetary scale, FTX is way bigger than this.
Yeah, for sure.
So less people will get screwed, and therefore, the market really doesn't give a fuck. Potentially.
Maybe.
Even though this is like juicy and it does have systemic risks, from a market perspective, probably won't do much, to be honest. At most, if this goes nuclear, we've already made potential bottom price Bitcoin predictions at 13K.
Yeah.
This could be the catalyst.
Yeah, it could be.
And then you better be scooping up all you can.
Yeah.
At that point.
This is a lifetime opportunity.
That's
right
a scooper, dude.
Yeah.
13K Bitcoin, dude.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Let us know what you think about DCG, Gemini, Genesis. Let us know if you agree. Is Barry, doing shenanigans out there, or is this completely inert? Fake news.
Winklevi are done. Mark Zuckerberg wins again.
Yeah. All right, let us know in the comment section below. Follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at MetaZone.io, and at RobyAI, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.